a strap for our warm-up, a block for when we get started here. And then you're gonna need a loop band if you have one. If not, a strap will work. And then you're gonna need an open band. You have these. Now, I am using my extra heavy in for both of these. I started with much lighter weight and I found it actually wasn't enough for what we're doing today. We're not doing a bunch of, we're not doing this for strength building today. I am gonna admit this is the first class where I've made it all up myself, except for a couple of things. It went okay this morning, so we'll see how it goes today, this afternoon. So yeah, I think you can get away with a pretty heavy band on this. We're just using it to have some resistance. We're gonna explore some actions in Utthita Trikonasana, using resistance. All right, so let's start with the strap. Just your plain old yoga strap. We're just gonna warm up the shoulders and the hips a little bit. So whatever distance feels comfortable for you, you're gonna take that strap up and over. Inhale on your way up, exhale on your way down. So that's gonna set your pace for you, is how quickly you're going, how quickly you're breathing. Inhale up and over. And you can shorten the strap as you go if you start to feel the shoulders getting a little bit more pliable. All right, the next time you get to the front, you're gonna hold there. All right, and we're gonna keep the right hand stationary. Now, you may have to lift up or down a little bit. You see, I've got mine kind of out to the side. All right, and then with your left arm, you're gonna bring that strap up and over. Right, a couple of times that way, just to kind of get the action. Try to keep your elbows straight, all right, and then switch the sides. So hold the left hand, bring the right hand up and over. You can adjust the distance of the strap side to side if you need to. All right, now a couple of times on the first side. And a couple of times on the second side. And then just do a couple with both arms to be symmetrical. All right, and then we can toss that strap aside. We're done with that strap. All right, now stand with your feet mat width apart. And we're going to take what's called a bootstrap squat. So even if you can't keep your knees straight, you're going to come down and you're just going to kind of grab your tops of your feet. If you need to bend the knees, bend the knees. All right, and then you're just going to bend the knees as far down as you can. Maybe you can come all the way down into a squat, and then you're going to come back up. All right, so don't worry about how low you can get, just go as low as you can. You can see I kind of have to stay in that downhill skier look, but up and down. Hands will stay on your feet, so you'll just straighten your knees to your capacity. You'll bend to your capacity, and then you'll straighten to your capacity. Think about the work we've done in the yoga classes where we know straightening the knees comes from lifting the hips, not jamming the kneecaps back. Couple more. And then you'll just hold your forward bend, holding the feet. So if the knees are a little bit bent, that's fine. Ease into your amount of stretch. Shift the weight back onto your heels and inhale and come up. All right, one more little warm up. You're gonna take your open band. If you don't have it, then you'll just do lateral extension on both sides. Take this band and take it under your foot. And then just hold at the top of the band. Right, and then with an inhalation, we're gonna come up with the left arm. That is lateral extension, right? You're stretching that side. With an exhalation, come down, and then you're gonna go to lateral extension on this side, but you're just gonna pull that arm up. So you're gonna feel some stretch here. Right, and then come back upright. Now take your hand lower. So there's more resistance between. Now inhale up with the top arm, get the stretch along the side, and then exhale over to the other side where you'll feel a little more stretch here. And you can move this hand kind of back behind you. You see how that rolls that shoulder back? And then come up. All right, one more time, come down lower. Lots of resistance in that band. Inhale the arm up. Exhale and come over. All right, and just hold that stretch for a moment. All right, and then release. All right, so we'll do that on the other side then. Take the strap under the foot, be at the top. And then being at the top here, the reason why we're moving the hand out is just so you can get some knowledge of how these resistance bands are working. You like it at the top, you can always do it at the top. If you like it closer to your foot, you can always do it from closer to the foot. Inhale up with the right arm, get that extension in the side. And then exhale down, and then here you'll feel that more of a stretch. There's a stretch here, but I really feel it in the side of the neck. All right, and then come up. Take the hand a little bit lower. Pull up on that band, and then again, inhale up. Exhale, come all the way over. Pull, get that stretch in the side of the neck. Okay, and then one more round, you're gonna go even closer. Pulling up. Inhale over. This also gives a bigger stretch on the side, right? Because that resistance may pull you down some more. Right, and then pulling to the other side. Let that neck stretch. Right, and then release. The step out of that band and just do a couple, however you like to take your arms over your head. You can interlace your fingers. You can come from the sides, you can come from the front. Just take a couple of deep breaths. And release. Okay, so we're going to explore a few things in Utthita Trikonasana. Now, you could make loops in your bands and just always have loops in your bands. I've never successfully tied a loop in my band and had it stay. As soon as I use it, it comes out. So I'm going to move this camera down and just show you what I'm doing under my foot. This has always worked for me so far. I haven't had any snapbacks. All right, so I'm just going to take this band and I'm going to wrap it around my foot and then just kind of tuck that under. Y'all see that? I think I might have moved forward. All right, so I'm just wrapping it around and then tucking it. Okay, now there is some difference in whether it's coming from the inside of your arch or whether it's coming from the outside of the foot. You may feel some different sensations depending on how you have it wrapped, but I'm not concerned about that today. We're not going to that fine level of detail. So you'll just wrap it however it ends up getting wrapped and you won't worry about it. All right, I'm gonna put the camera back. Close this so it's not so crazy.
Is it okay to take medium intensity band?
Yeah, you can use whatever intensity band you want. That is fine. If you find at any point that the band is too little, you can switch. If it's too much, you can switch. All right, take your block over onto the right-hand side. We'll use the block because we definitely are going to want to get the hand flat as we go here. So you'll want a little bit of height. And you're going to take that strap, you're going to wrap it around your left foot. Tuck it in there. And then you're just going to take the other end of that strap and you're going to wrap it around your hand and hold. So same foot, same side foot and hand. And then again, remember you can increase the resistance by getting the hand closer to the foot. All right, so take your feet wide. Take your block so it's ready for Trikonasana. We're going to do another little shoulder thing here, and then you're going to experience that coming up with the top arm. All right, turn your right leg out. Okay, now the strap needs to be so that it's going to end up going behind you, so don't have it coming from the middle and around the front of your foot. Right, and then I'm just going to pull this strap and kind of bring my hand to my shoulder. Come over for triangle pose, and then take that arm up. So have the strap so it's behind you. It's going to be on your buttocks, not in front. Right, and then we're just going to let that arm drop back a little bit. And then you're going to bring it, it's not straight forward, but it's not over the head. It's kind of at an angle. All right, and then let it drop back. And bring it over. One more time, to your comfort, let it drop back. And bring it over. Okay, now take that arm straight up in the air. And you know that the exit instruction coming out of Utthita Trikonasana is to pull up with the top hand as you press down into that heel. So really feel that resistance band is going to really help that. It's just going to pull you straight up. All right, so you're not having to use your lower back at all. All right, so one more time, we're not going to do the shoulder piece. Just come over into your triangle pose. Reach that arm up. Press firmly into that outer left heel. All right, and then reach up with that left arm. Let that strap pull you up. All right, we're going to switch sides. Okay, so that strap is going to come off the left foot and go on to the right. Move your block over to the left-hand side. And then step the feet wide. Place the block so that it'll be there when you come into your triangle pose. Wrap that hand. Right, left toes are going to turn out. We're going to the left this time. Right, so come over into your triangle pose. Take that arm up. Right, and then you'll just gently let it come back a little bit. And then let it come forward. Let it come back. And forward. One more time. Back. And forward. And then just let it be straight up in the air. Right, and then with a Inhalation, you're gonna press into that outer foot, pull with the other hand and let the strap bring you up. And then we'll just do that one more time. Arm up. All right, and then as you come up, feel how that band helps you come up. Okay, turn the feet, step the feet back together, and then take that strap off. All right, block is gonna go back to the right hand side now. All right, so the other action that we talk a lot about in Trikonasana is when we take the arm up, right? It's a press down into the bottom arm as the top arm reaches, and the intent with that is to get this chest to open, right? And the pulling up kind of helps to turn the rib cage closest to the floor forward. So you'll decide here, let's play with this a little bit. Wrap the band around your hand, take it behind you, and then straighten your arms. And you want this to be difficult, but not impossible, right? When you stretch your arms, you want to feel like you're really pushing into those hands, right? So shorten that band enough that you're getting a nice resistance. All right, and then it will be behind you. All right, step your feet wide. This is why we want to use the block, because we want that hand to be down. All right, so take your hand down onto the block. That's going to help hold that band in place. All right, and then with an inhalation, press. You might have to work through the strap a little bit. It's going to grab your clothes, it might grab your hair. Pull up. Actually, I don't like the way that is. Why is that working that way? Come on up. Let's come from the front. And then just take the band here at your shoulders. Got kind of wonky there, got wrapped around my arm. Right, so come down so the band is parallel to your arm, not wrapped around your arm, and then straight. All right, and then as you press up, turn that bottom rib cage forward. Now we could, with multiple bands, put one around our left heel and hold it in our left hand to have that coming up feeling. But I want you to try to recreate that yourself as you press into that right heel, inhale and come up. All right, and then we'll switch sides. Turn the feet forward. Move your block. And then adjust your strap again, your band, so that you've got the right tension here. And actually, we could just do it. Let's do this side. Classic Utthita Trikonasana. Extend your arms from here. All right. Rotate that left side of the rib cage forward, and then exhale and come over and be pulling up with that right hand as you come down. And roll that bottom side of your rib cage forward, left side of the rib cage forward. Extend through those arms. Feel that tension in the arms. Feel how it's opening the chest. It's not a back bend opening. All right, and then with an inhalation, let that resistance, imaginary resistance band pull you back up. All right, turn your feet together. Take your feet. Turn your feet forward and take your feet together. Okay. One more instruction that we talk a lot about in Utthita Trikonasana. We like this stretch, right? This feels good to stretch this side, all right? And so lots of times when we go into our triangle pose, we want to find, we kind of crave that stretch. We're also tight in our hips. So we end up coming into our triangle pose, and you see how this side is short, this side is long. I kind of look like this, all right? What we really want in this triangle pose is we want these two distances here, hip to armpit, to stay even, okay? So now this is the awkward part. I highly recommend tucking in your shirt, if you can, or going under your shirt if that doesn't bother you. All right, you're going to take your loop. Now you could do this with a loop, or you could even do this with a strap. It doesn't matter, it could be a strap. I find pulling it up this way is easier than getting it over my head. It's like a sweaty exercise bra, sports bra, trying to get into it. All right, so I found it a lot easier to pull it up than to pull it over my head. All right, you're gonna bring that band, that loop, right around this lower rib cage. It makes all kinds of muffin tops where you don't want them, but it's okay, you're not gonna be on video, it's just gonna be me. All right, so it's right here at this lower rib cage. All right, so even just having that, right, that brings an awareness to that rib cage area. So let's take a Trikonasana with just this on, so you kind of have a sensation of what's happening here. So we'll go to the right first. Extend the arms, remember that band that we were pulling? Exhale and come over. All right, now what I want you to feel here is not that you're pushing up into that loop, but that you're trying to pull away from that loop. It's gonna be more intense in the hip area, all right? Because this curvature here comes from the hip not wanting to go towards the left. All right, so you can even bend the knee and think of pulling that quadricep up into the hip crease. All right, let's take it to the other side once. Then we're going to get a little crazier. All right, extend your arms with that. Pretend you've got that resistance band and you're pulling that resistance band. You also have the band from the foot to the hand. Now come over into triangle pose. Try to draw away from that top side, that right rib cage. Try to pull it down. To do that, this quadricep has to draw up in, and that hip crease has to go to the right. And then you're pulling that resistance band with your arms. And then to come up, you have that resistance band connected to your foot. Inhale and come up. Turn your feet. And step the feet together. All right, block back over to the right side. Find your long band. And you're going to loop it into the right hand side of your muffin top maker. Kind of a muffin bottom, I guess. All right. So now we're just going to use this, wrap it around your hand to help pull that rib cage down. All right. So now it's not just the awareness, but you're actually going to have some resistance there. Take the feet wide, turn the right foot out. All right, and then with that band wrapped around your hand, you can adjust. You want to feel that there's some tension there. Exhale and come over. So it's pulling that left side of the rib cage down. You have to really deepen that right hip crease. Come up, tighten it a little bit. See what happens. That would be too much. All right, so you're already pulling over. Pull parallel to the rib cage. Right? Think about the resistance band that's between your hands and reach up. Think about the resistance band between the left hand and left foot. And as you press into that left heel, inhale and come up. Turn your feet. Feet can come together. Move that band to the opposite side. And take that block to the opposite side. Okay? We'll do it twice, so you don't want to be super duper tight on the first one. All right, take the feet wide. Turn the left toes out. All right, and then you really have to think about this hip crease moving to the right as you come down, because you have to make room to keep that left side long. Okay, so that right side of the rib cage is moving down. Right and left side staying even. Feel that resistance band between your arms. You kind of have half of it. So imagine you're pulling an imaginary second half. Roll that left side of your rib cage forward. All right, and then press strongly into that right heel and come up like you've got a resistance band in your hand. Good, now shorten this a little bit so you get a little more pull. And then exhale, come over. Right side of the rib cage moving down. Left hip moving to the right. Reach up through that right arm. And then to come up, press into the right heel. Pretend there's a resistance band there, just helping you to come up. All right, turn your feet. Step your feet together. And then you can unband yourself. Okay, and then we'll just take, once again, feet wide, come forward, Uttanasana. Maybe the knees can straighten now. If not, just see, and you get them a little straighter, a little more stretch in the hamstrings. That pose stretches the hamstrings a lot more than we realize. Couple of deep breaths. Shift the weight into your heels. Inhale and come up. And we'll come down for a short Shavasana. All right, so blanket behind the head. And it's your choice on how you take your Shavasana. You can go completely flat if you would like. You can stay with knees bent if you prefer that. Keep your hands below your heart, whether that's resting on the floor or whether you bend your elbows and let your hands rest somewhere on your torso. The hands on the torso, feeling the breath, help the parasympathetic nervous system kick in, which can be very soothing for the nerves. Your eyes soften, face soften. Take a few deep breaths, nice deep inhalation, long, slow exhalations. Slowly come out of Shavasana, so if you don't have your elbows bend your elbows. Bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on the floor. Take a peek and see where your block has gotten to, and when you're ready, roll to the side that's the most comfortable or convenient for you. Take as much time as you need sitting up. Any comfortable seated posture. Your head low and your eyes closed. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming to class and continuing your practice. Slowly raise your head. Slowly open your eyes. Have a lovely day.